We have reality. The city built on the Mount Zion. Jerusalem city is our home. We will see there by faith. In the name of Jesus, we will all be our home. We will all be our home. We have reality. We have reality. The city built on the Mount Zion. Jerusalem city is our home. Have reality. The city built on the Mount Zion. Jerusalem city is our home. We will see there by faith. In the name of Jesus, we will all be our home. We will all be our home. We are reality. We are reality. The city built on the Mount Zion. Jerusalem city is our home. Pastor Oluwarotimi Peter is one of the end-time ministers sent about 3 decades ago with the message, "Go and deliver my people from the hands of devil." He is an author of the book, The Secret Covenant, and about other 50 books. He holds conference and outreaches within and outside Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria. He is the president of Reality Global Network online program and the general overseer of Power of His Reality Church. Let us listen to this message. It shall turn to your testimony.
Welcome back. Oluwarotimi Peter is my name. I broadcast to you from Reality Global Network. Without wasting time, if you are with me in the last episode, if you are with me, I was talking at that episode about the place of funding, the place of funding in dream fulfilling, the place of funding in dream fulfilling. You know, I said there is nothing you can do if the money is not there. You know, there is an adage in Yoruba that says, money says when it's not present, nothing will be done. When it's not present, nothing will be done. Though I believe that if God is present, we don't need money because God holds money. I said the place of funding in dream fulfilling. I mean, episode of that, the place of funding in dream fulfilling. Then I remember I told you that there are 3 sources of raising funding. I say 3 sources of raising funding in fulfilling your dream. I said number 1 is self-owned funding. The money you have yourself, you can use it to fulfill your dream. I said number 2 is assisted funding. That is the money you are assisted, the money that is given to you by somebody, maybe somebody at this distance or somebody close to you or relationship. I said number 3 ways is the money you borrowed, the money you borrowed. So we are focusing on the money you borrowed. The money you borrowed. When I said, the question I said, is it proper to borrow money to fund my dream? Is it proper? You know, I didn't say yes, I didn't say no. I didn't say no, yes. And the reason why I'm careful about answer to that is one thing about borrowing money. Borrowing money is a weight. It's an heaviness. It's an heaviness. That's why personally I don't love borrowing, because I know it's an heaviness. Particularly when you don't have money to pay back it to. But you know, I said it depends on the following I'm going to mention. Last time I said it depends on your belief on borrowing. If you believe in borrowing, somebody like me, I don't like it because I don't want something rather that will be on weight on me. Then I said in that verse, I said depending on the source of borrowing. The sources of borrowing, where you borrow. For instance, now you borrowed on higher percentage. You borrow on higher percentage that you are struggling to pay the percentage, even the capital is not there, and capital is still there unpaid. The capital is there unpaid, you are struggling to pay the percentage. So if the percentage is higher than normal, then it's not advisable for you to go for borrowing in that particular scheme. Then I will take number 3 now, but before I take number 3, let me quickly have a break.
Keep watching Reality TV. Thanks.
Reality Global Network, as is being mentioned, the word reality is a ministry, is a name of a ministry. When I say a ministry,
Keep watching Reality TV. Thanks.
you are welcome back. So number 3 is management ability. Don't forget where I start. I said, is it proper to borrow? I said, well, it depends on how we want it. So I said, number 1, it depends on number 1, your belief in borrowing, and number 2 is source of borrowing. Then number 3, I want to talk about management ability. You can borrow it if you have the management ability, how you can manage the money you borrowed, how you can utilize the money you borrowed and have a large interest to be able to pay it back. So if the management ability is there to manage the debt and also to manage the profit, to pay back. So to pay back is very, very important in the school of borrowing. So that is why it depends on you. So it depends on you if the management ability is there. So then it depends on you. Then number 4 is what I call, it depends on the type of business and dream. That is, it depends on the type of business you are doing and dream. There are some dream or some business you are doing that doesn't require borrowing money at all, because they are product or business of little profit. They are product or business of little profit. For instance, somebody who is printing recharge card. Somebody who is printing recharge card and that there is a scheme of borrowing somewhere to borrow 500,000 to pay with 600,000. Then he borrow 500,000 to pay 600,000. Where will he get the money? How much is the profit on printing recharge card? You understand? So that is why it depends on the business you are doing, or depending on the dream. Please take note of that. Very, very important. Very, very important. God is using me this time to give you practical things. Listen, this everything I've ever taught in this dream series, everything I've ever taught in this series is teaching from experience. I don't gather whatever I'm teaching from anybody. I don't gather whatever, either reading it from any book or copying it from any internet. It's by what I've lived and by my personal experience. Anyway, let me, before I make it a day to help you, to encourage you on how to live your life, or may I say some words of encouragement in case you don't want to borrow. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. In case you don't want to borrow, because you may be somebody like me that doesn't have interest in borrowing, and you want to live comfortably. You want fund to be made available. So you need to live according to your ability. There is a saying that says, "Cut your coat according to your clothes, according to your size." It's not more your size. It's according to your clothes. So live according to your ability. If you don't want to find yourself in problem. And number 2 advice I want to give to you is to avoid waste. You have to avoid waste. I'm a man that is very, very, in fact, as we are in the studio speaking now, if you ask my director and my engineer, he will always tell you that I don't want any little time, because we are consuming on gen. We are running on gen now because the generator. So I don't want 5 minutes to be wasted. That 5 minutes can be used for another thing, either preparing to enter to do, or to edit, or to do some things, to program some things we need to prepare before we go on here. So I'll make sure that no time is wasted, because God hates wastage. So make sure. Then number 3, which is the last one, is what I call, you need to manage, you need to improve your management skill. Try to improve your management skill. As a dreamer, you manage people. As a dreamer, for instance, in the studio now, some of my staff with me here, which I manage. How did I manage them? I will instruct them, do this. Some people are on our prayer ground now, attending to people on our prayer ground now. If all of us will be here and people are waiting for